Greetings. Well, as I sit here in the garage messing around with some small block Chevys, this is my view a lot of the time. Got my comfy. Every garage gotta have a chair. This motherfucker is well worn. Gotta have your chair to sit and ponder the shit. But sit here, I don't have nobody to talk to, so I'll talk to my fucking self, I reckon. And anybody who wants to listen for a bit, just thinking about engines, of course, seems to consume a lot of my fucking thoughts. Be nice if you could just snap your fingers and all this shit would just put itself together. You had a fucking genie or something to come out and make it happen. But ain't no magic genies gonna pop up anytime soon. Got a few small block Chevys here. I got a bunch. Actually, got fucking more under my counter. In my other garage, I got a fucking pile of them there too. So I got them scattered for fucking miles. So collecting stamps would have been a hell of a lot easier. But I don't just have small block Chevys, I also have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 big block Chevys stashed away. I have like 7 455 Oldsmobiles. I think I have 2 425s. Got a 403 Oldsmobile. Got a 66 330 Oldsmobile. Fucking several turbocharged 2.3 Ford 4-cylinder engines. Like the kind of shit you would find out turbo coupe, T-Bird. I have a little Ranger stashed away I fuck with every now and then. I'm not really a big Ford guy, but I'm an engine guy. And whatever works, go with it. Whatever you're trying to do. Person be amazed what a 2.3 liter Ford 4-cylinder can be made to do. I've seen one over 1,000 horsepower with a stock block. I have one tucked away, turned all the way up. It'll make probably damn near 500 horsepower. And it ain't really that extravagant of a build. It's got a nice head on it. It's got a pretty good sized crane cam in it. got a 35 millimeter turbo, a header and shit, and a throttle body that was made for, what the fuck was that, like a 5.4, I don't even remember now, but it was a V8 Ford engine. But it's pretty basic shit. Got some decent pistons in it and shit. Some good bolts. I ain't fucked with it in years though. It's been just tucked away. I'm stuck on these fucking small block Chevys here in the last 4 or 5 years. Trying to get some of these motherfuckers out of my way. I got a fucking slew of them. Here's the current. Here's the current project. I ain't made myself start on it really yet. But this is a pretty damn good block. It's a 350, obviously. But we got, it's a D572, so it's April 5th, 1972, when this block was cast. It's bored 30 over. It's decked, zero decked to 9-inch. Piston will be flush with or even with the deck. Here's how you tell a deck. Ain't no fucking, all the identification, the numbers and shit are gone. This come out of a 72 Z28 Camaro. It's a 4-bolt main, nodular caps and shit. It's a good block. I recommend though, and not for everybody of course, but if you're trying to build a small block Chevy for power, you fucking get you blueprint your block. You figure out your stack. Like you got you measure your hole here, and then you take half of that. Take your fucking stroke of your crank and half that. And then the length of your connecting rod. And then your compression distance on your piston from your pin, the center of your pin to the top of the piston. Add all that up. What it comes up to is what you want. Which this is a 355, so it's a 3.48 stroke, but with a 5.7 rod and a 1.560 pin height piston, it comes up exactly to 9-inch. These blocks from the factory, they're typically like 9.025, maybe more, maybe less, but that's average number, 9.025. So if I didn't deck it and I put that 9-inch stack a rotating assembly in there. I'd have 25 in the hole right off the bat. Then I'd have a typical, which I'm running a 38 thick head gasket, but typical composite type head gaskets are like 40 thick, 39, 40 thick. So 25 in the hole, you add 40 with your gasket, that puts you at 65, possibly 70. Compression height, your quench, that's about twice as much as you need. Ideally, you want that quench, you want to get that piston flush with the top of that block. Then you set your quench with your thickness of your gasket. But there's a lot of variables involved there. You can fuck yourself pretty easy. Like if you ain't got big enough valve reliefs, and you got real big valves, and you got a real big cam with a whole lot of duration, a tight lobe separation. I'm also running milled heads. The heads are milled down to like fucking 52 cc. So a 208 intake valve, and it sticks below the deck of the head. So, and then with the zero deck block piston, so the thickness of the gasket will be 38 thick. That'll be the quench. From the flat part of the piston to the flat part of the head will be 38 thousandths space in between there, which 35 to 40 is typically about where you want to be. Some people run them tighter. I've ran them tighter in certain applications, but generally speaking, most builds I like them about 35 to 40. And this will be 38. This had about 30 thousandths taken off the deck. So that affects, and then the milled heads and shit. So all that shit affects the way these things bolt together. Shit starts getting funny. Intake might not fit right, so you have to fit your intake to the engine. Every single hole's been tapped out here, but I'm gonna fucking take a brass wire wheel, get the remainder of that orange paint off and shit, buff that thing on out, and before I paint it, wash the shit out of it and paint it. Always tap them out for screw in old galvanized plugs. Got some Durabond badass cam bearings for the 650 lift solid roller going in this thing. You dig shit out of them. You want to chamfer your head bolt holes. I'm going to take my grinder before I put this thing together, and that old return there, that casting flash, remove that shit. Same thing on this side, open that on up. That, it's flash in there restricting the size of that. Oh, that's the oil drain back. So I'm going to take that flash out, open that fucker up, let that shit get back to the pan quick as possible. And it's all tapped for, I use these fucking these vents that stand up and keep the oil from dripping directly on the cam and shit, causing windage. And make it all drain back at the back of the block. And then I'll probably V-shape the bottom of this hole here. Take that all the way down, even with the block there. Same on that side. You ain't gotta go fucking crazy grinding on this shit, but a little bit goes a long way. Mainly just to focus on the critical shit like them oil drain back holes. And a person could deburr the whole fucking block and grind it down and make it a fucking coffee table if they wanted, but for what I'm doing here, it's totally unnecessary. This 350 is gonna make 600 horsepower or more most likely, but we'll call it 600. Project 600 here. Stock 72 block. Yes. That's your good 350s here. Good thick fuckers. You can tell, got the big wide pad. Got the fucking tapped into the oil passage there, so you run turbo on this thing and run your oil line to the front of the block there. Your later 350s don't have that provision. But I gotta clean the shit out of it, which is already clean, but I'm pretty nitpicky, so I'm gonna, like I said, whatever orange paint's left on it, I'm gonna buff that shit on off. Use a brass bristled wire brush so it's softer than cast iron, so it don't scratch nothing up or anything. It just clean that shit off, make it look like fucking new. I guess I'm gonna just paint this fucker black because the heads are already painted black. And fuck it. Make it look like a stock engine. Well, it ain't gonna look stock by any means, but almost tempted to paint it orange, but like I said, I already got the heads are black and I have black paint in stock, so it's gonna be black. There's black valve covers on it, and probably this tunnel ram and twin 800 double pumpers. That'll be the induction for it. So this shit, all this shit is going on this block, along with ported out bow tie head, phase 2 bow tie heads, big ass solid roller. This will be the heads with This fucker will be 12.5 to 1 compression with flat tops. Actually 12.55 to 1. So just over 12.5 to 1 compression with flat top pistons. That's another benefit to decking them fuckers. That's compression. You're not only picking up compression, but you're getting that quench. It squeezes the mixture harder, makes more power. If you ever see two people have engines that are similar, same size engines, similar builds, but one of them runs circles around the other one, and motherfuckers just can't figure out why. A lot of it's in the machining, the detail, the devil's in the fucking details. It's how like NHRA stock engines can make double what they made brand new and still be mostly stock. But most of the shit you'll never even see. Even like those heads I'm putting on here, they're fucking cast iron phase 2 bow tie heads. So to the untrained eye, they look like stock fucking small block Chevy heads. But in all actuality, they flow fucking like 308 CFM or 307 and like 215, 220 on the exhaust. So they flow more than enough to feed a 600 plus horse engine. And I got a nice all balanced fucking forged rotating assembly, H-beams and shit going in here. So I can turn it up 8,500 RPM. It's just gonna be pretty much a racing engine. It's pretty radical. Hell, I possibly could get my Cutlass, run high 9s in the quarter with this unit. Know it'll do low 10s, but it might break high 9s in a small block Chevy G-body 355 cubic inch. It can be done. Has been done. It's amazing what you can do with these fuckers if you know all the tricks. It ain't gonna look like, well, I mean, other than the tunnel ram and shit, it ain't gonna be too flashy anyway. It ain't gonna look stock, but it ain't gonna be flashy either. It's mostly gonna be painted black. Of course, I'll run a big drag race oil pan and shit, and a gold diamond cover that's reinforced for a roller cam. Almost tempted to paint it black, but fuck it, I'll just leave it gold. I like these gold diamond covers. It's not like that. It's like that, but it's not like that. That one's a 2-piece. It's more like the one on this engine. Or this engine. So that's my go-to on a lot of my builds. They're fucking thicker than stock. They're stiff. I've used them with many a roller cam. Get minimal, if any, deflection. Check your end play on your cam and shit, and push on the cam. Fucking dial indicator don't even move, so they're pretty fucking stiff. I like my roller cams to be about 4 or 5 thousandths in play. I don't like them a whole lot more, you know. I mean, you can go up to 10, but that's too much in my eyes. I like about 4 or 5 typically. 6 or 7 ain't gonna hurt shit, but just the little bullshit you gotta check and make sure. Another SBC here. This was quite the unit back in the day. It's got a HVH fucking spacer on it. Tapered combo 2-inch. I got this quarter jet on here. My super stock quarter jet. Think about firing this thing up again. It ain't been started in months. Start it up and fucking bolt this quarter jet onto it and see how it acts. That's a good quarter jet. It's built, properly built. It'll feed some power. Fucking mess out here with this shit, really. Got a few intakes to pick between. Whichever one best suits the application. There's a rare pair of headers. These are to put a 455 Oldsmobile into a G-body. That's the headers I had on my 79 Cutlass with a 455 in it. Oldsmobile. It's their fucking... They're 2-piece. Wraps around the frame and shit. Them fuckers were expensive back in the day. Them are about 30 years old, but they're still usable. I'll probably use them again, but I don't think they make them anymore. They were discontinued years ago. I guess there wasn't enough people putting 455 Oldsmobiles into G-bodies. Yeah, I bought them at super shops back in the day. Fucking, yeah. But this is the project of the day. I highly recommend zero decking them bastards and get that quench right and shit. It's definitely make for a more powerful engine. Here's how they begin. It's a fucking blank sheet of paper. There it is, 355.